Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the DJ Sessions Presents the Virtual Sessions. I'm your host, Darren, and right now I'm in the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington. And coming in all the way from Honolulu, Hawaii, we have AthenaLuv on the show today. AthenaLuv,
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's always awesome. I know this interview was supposed to start at 1 o'clock, when we're doing this live interview thing. And as things go, sometimes there's hiccups that happen and sometimes there's not. And today it was Twitch's fault. That was the hiccup. We're going to blame Twitch today, even though we
Yeah.
love Twitch so much and they've been so good to us. But no, it's wonderful to have you on the show. Thank you for sharing about it. I hope your fans are tuning in and we're sharing it to your channels. So, you're a DJ. Do you produce as well, or are you just DJing?
I will be releasing tracks by the end of the year. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. It's kind of one of those things that we're seeing, over the course of time. I've been in the nightlife game for 30 plus years. And, back then it was DJs were just DJs. They didn't
Yeah.
produce. It wasn't necessarily easy to produce, or you had to have a lot, you had to have gear to do that in a studio to make the music. And you're now finding that a lot of people I talked to, I was talking with somebody yesterday, um, and he has this wonderful training academy. You should look into it if you're looking to be a producer. It's like $20 a month get you one thing, $30 a month get you access to all these master classes with all these top level people, and they have Ableton and I mean it was crazy, blew my mind. Um, all art. It's AULART.com.
Okay.
Allart.com. Check that out.
Nice.
And phenomenal
Yeah.
conversation with him yesterday. But again, the line, he has been in the industry. Mike, Mark, sorry, Mark, if you're watching, please don't get mad at me. But he says the line is getting smaller between DJs and producers, and you almost have to be producing tracks now because you just
Yeah.
don't get by on your DJ merit anymore.
Right.
Maybe at a local level you might, but not at an international level, unless you have you got to get that following, and that following comes from being an international, you know,
Right.
releasing internationally and letting people know you getting the socials up. So congratulations on that endeavor. As a matter of fact, speaking of listening to stuff that you've been producing, I was on SoundCloud right before the show, like I do for every show, and doing my research, and I was listening to You're Not Like Me. Tell me,
Yeah.
what was the inspiration behind that? What made you throw that up? What made you put that together?
I first of all I put a track almost dead middle of the mix. It's called "Not Like Me," and it goes "Not like me, freak like me," and it's just like it's a really cool track, and I love it. Like one of my favorite tracks to play, and also I'm different. Like I've always felt that way, and like it's part of why I became a raver, is because I'm different, and I own that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I go back to, like I said, being in dance culture or the electronic music scene since 1992. I mean, I was going out to clubs as a teenager, 15 and 16 years old. So
yeah,
I was out there in 1990 going to nightclubs, but it was top 40 music at that time. And it wasn't
right.
until I turned 18 that I was working at a music store and met my friends at that time, said, "Hey, we got this really cool nightclub to go to called the Underground." And I thought nightclubs, the top 40 nightclubs were nightclubs. That was to me. And it was like my hometown, 15 and up, 16 up. Well, my dad knew the bouncer, so he kind of got me in the club
Nice.
before I was supposed to be 18 years old to get in. But yeah, I would get in. I went to this club, the Underground, and that was the first time I ever experienced like underground house music vibe. And shortly after that, the rave culture scene hit Seattle, and we started having
Right.
these raves, and
Yeah.
and it was the whole thing, getting dressed up in an outfit every time we were wearing something different, and it was like the
Yeah.
cool thing. Like if you see the movie Party Monster, it was kind of, that was us in the
Yeah.
early days of rave in the early 90s, which was just awesome.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of people, I was just out with dinner with a friend of mine last night, and the rave culture that I see of what it is today was not what it was back then. And everything
No.
does evolve. That's 30 years of evolution,
Yeah.
but the essence of it is still there. But, when I went, it wasn't commercialized. It
No.
was underground. Call this phone number to find out where the party's at, and
call
that.
the phone number, stop at this stop, figure out a direction, and go in it. I started in 2001, so not far behind, but you call it the hotline or whatever. We were going to raves in abandoned buildings, and it was a totally different vibe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
are you native to Hawaii? Did you grow up in Hawaii, or did you just move there? Oh, where are you originally from?
I've been here for 2 years. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the East Coast, like, the raves were amazing. They are still. You know what I mean? Honolulu, the raves are amazing here too. It's a totally different, culture. The underground. It's insane. I don't know.
Absolutely. And I've been to Boston one time.
Yeah.
And please confirm with the rest of the world that I'm not crazy, because the streets there are so messed up.
Oh yeah, no, they're crazy. They're in probably the country, honestly.
It was so crazy. I was trying to drive around doing an advertising job there. And I was telling my friend on the phone, I'm like Seattle, we have grid-based kind of systems, and I'm trying to explain to her, I'm like, you don't understand what it's like driving around these city streets. You have to go a mile this way to go back this way to get on this street. And then if there's no parking, you missed your chance. You got to go down a mile this way to come back this way to come around this way. It was crazy.
And Boston, because they took the dirt from when they, founded Boston and they paved them. So they were horse house, basically.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you're DJing, you're looking to get into producing. Tell us a little bit about Headspin Collective. What is Headspin Collective all about?
Oh, Headspin Collective, I started with a friend. He went by Frankie Method back in Providence, Rhode Island. And we started throwing shows in 2004. And I threw a monthly called Renovations for a few years. It was very East Coast. I had a lot of people come like Ed and, I don't know, a lot of people, Dally, Candy Kid, big East Coast people. And it was awesome. You know what I mean? I threw shows till about 2012 on and off. I did a lot of promo stuff, and then I kind of took a break. And in 2019, I rebranded and, because it was Headspin Productions back then. And in 2019, I rebranded to Headspin Collective. And in 2020, I LLC'd and moved to Hawaii. So, and now I'm throwing shows again. It's been amazing. Yeah.
I know what that's like, rebranding multiple times. And it wasn't even until I was doing this show, the DJ sessions, under another brand that I had called ITV. And it was ITV Live Presents the DJ sessions. And then in 2013, we bought the website for the DJ sessions. And then I didn't do anything with it till like 2018 when I got version 2. And then we got featured on Twitch in 2018, made a featured partner, and we're like, whoa, I'm not ready for this. This is huge. We were put to the front page of Twitch and had thousands of viewers, thousands of people in the chat room. It was crazy. And then spent the better part of 18 and 19 because we started doing events ourselves as well. Something I was never supposed to do. I was supposed to just be the live streaming guy. But eventually I found myself like, okay, I want to do something different. Nobody's playing along. Let me go out there and let me create my own thing, my own events. I just ran into a friend of mine last night who I used to do rooftop parties with that were kind of legendary in Seattle. And he says, Darren, I got another building with another rooftop. I'd love to do something with you again. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. And then we started getting into silent concert events. And then we rebranded again in 2021, with our brand new website and everything that we got that you see today. And it's always constantly in motion when you own the business. And, I think a lot of people think that, oh, what you do is easy. It's easy to put on a show. Or or I had people at one point that have thought that I've been making like $250,000 to $500,000 doing my show, doing my brand, and that I don't give anyone any money back. I'm this rich guy. I'm like, you mean the lint out of my pocket? That's where it's coming from. And then I got to find out how to get creative with putting something on and putting something together that's going to be memorable, that people are going to have a fun time with. So, that can always be an interesting conundrum. So I'm not sure if I lost you there or not. I may have. Hopefully you can still hear me. And I'm going to just chat.
It's a labor of love.
Absolutely. That was interesting. Right. We had a little weird glitch there. You were saying it's a labor of love.
Yeah, it is. And, people also think that I have tons of money, but, throwing events is A, expensive, and B, it's hard. Like, I even bring my own equipment to the shows and set up and stuff, and it's a lot of work, and they don't see the back end of it where you're unloading and loading and, doing all the marketing stuff. And I'm not complaining. I love it. It's what I did before the pandemic. I was in corporate events, you know what I mean? So it's, but this is like special, like it's music, and I love music, and I love electronic music, and I love techno, and it's just like I want to see it be like events be like they were when I started going out. Like the vibe is there, and you can recreate it, I think, in a different way,
and that's the one thing that I love about getting into events. And now that I'm sure you've heard of silent disco, we call it silent concert now. We're trying to rebrand and be outside of silent concert and eventually start doing silent festivals where, most of these headset people are doing shows and they'll have 100 people show up, or if they're doing it at a big rave or a big festival, and they're giving away the headsets for free, they'll have an area and they'll go through 400, 500, 600 headsets because people are coming through. But that's in conjunction with another event. We want to start throwing silent festivals and having 2,000 people all in the headset. And that's the whole thing because we have 7-channel headsets. Nobody else in the world has 7-channel headsets. So
I've heard of 3-channel, but not 7. That's crazy.
Yeah, everyone has 3. We had 4. I got 4 in the beginning just to be better than everyone. But then I got 7 channels, and we want to bring headliners to these events as well. Which a lot of the silent disco owners, it's not financially stable for them to bring in a $5,000 or a $10,000 headliner artist and then be able to pay all those tables as well for 6 hours if you have 3 DJs playing per table. But we're also looking at putting an augmented reality experience in with each of those stages as well. So you could be watching the red stage with your augmented reality glasses on and then switch to the blue stage, and you're going to get the whole blue channel experience, and then orange, pink, purple down the line. It's going to
and then you have people who are logging in virtually too.
Yes, exactly. So speaking of that, we have our virtual nightclubs as well. So I could make different. Well, I was the first one. I'm not trying to toot a horn here, but one of our ideas was with this process was merging silent disco technology and live streaming at our events. You could go to our website. So you could be at an event with us and be on the red channel. You could tell everyone online saying, hey, everyone, I'm listening to the red channel right now. Those people at home could go on and listen to the red channel with you at the event. Now, that person at home could say, well, wait a second, I want to see what's on the green channel. They go down to the green channel and they start having a good time on the green channel. Then they message their friend back and say, you should check out the green channel. The person at the event then switches into the green channel, and you're having this process. You're having an interactive experience online and in person with people from around the world that can pump up the blue channel, the green channel, or whatnot. And the DJs are sitting there watching. Like you could have 300 people watching the blue channel, but only 20 people in the audience are listening to the blue channel. But you still have an audience at both levels going on in the metaverse and in the real world, in real life.
So crazy.
I know I love events. I love being creative and doing awesome stuff with the events.
It's so crazy to think of like how many people you can touch through music on that virtual platform too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just expands everything and makes it like I just am like, whoa, you know? So
Exactly. So, and speaking of DJing, what gives you the inspiration? What was your passion and inspiration for DJing? What's the magic behind that makes AthenaLuv DJ?
so I was never a DJ because I was always a promoter. You know, started learning to play music in 2004 or 2003 on vinyl. You know, my friend Optimus Prime, Ricky Prime, he started teaching me, and you know, I played at like some. Yeah, you probably know of him. He's a very old school, very amazing DJ, and from Massachusetts. He break beats. You know, he owned that shit, and he's still DJing out on Martha's Vineyard too, I believe. But you know, he uh, inspired that in me, and you know, I played at like house parties and stuff. I never played out at a club back then. I wouldn't because I was just a promoter. And so in 2019, I had a good friend. Her name is DJ Trixie, and she was like started DJing '93 and so smart and such an amazing DJ and a pioneer for female DJs everywhere. And you know, she just was like, Jen, if you don't start DJing, I'm gonna kick your ass. And I was like, what? So she brought her techniques over, and she brought her brain mixer, and she brought her Serato vinyl, and she started teaching me to DJ again. And she's like, girl, you have it. Just keep doing it because you love it. And so I have. And it brought me here to Hawaii, and it's been freaking amazing. Yeah.
You know, it's so crazy that I tell people that I do this show called the DJ Sessions, and they say, "Oh, you DJ?" And I say, "No, I do not know how to DJ. I've been doing this show for 13 years. I've been in nightlife for 30 years. My friends explicitly, they always say, Darren, I have gear, I have everything, but I'm like, I don't have the time to learn how to DJ. Now, learning how to DJ, like the mechanics of it, I'm sure I could get. But I don't have the time. Back in the day, I was going to do this live streaming show where people were going to teach me. The first hour was going to be teaching me how to DJ. Then the next hour would be me actually DJing, and then the person who taught me would kind of close out the show. So it'd kind of be this watch this show of progressing Darren learning how to DJ. It never really took off because I got too busy doing other stuff. But what was one thing my friend at the time said, I was interviewing him and I said, how much time do you spend looking for music each week? And he goes, about 2 to 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
I went, what? This is back in 2009. Yeah. So I don't think Beatport was around.
No.
Maybe.
And he was still digging crates, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how he was, but I was like, I don't have 2 to 3 hours a day to do this. I'm trying to produce a show and do this. And I was in a relationship at the time, and I'm like, no, that's going to suck up all that. I mean, so the show was really created for me to take my friends that were DJs, let me do my video production work, and you DJ. And that's how the DJ sessions got born. By the way, I want to give some shout outs right now to some of your viewers: Jay Ryder, Deshaun Jones, Lufa, Angela Dawn, and House Nation. Thank you for tuning in. That's why we paired the channels. Yes. See, that's why I love Restream, how I can bring your viewers into the channels on your side of things. So what is something that you love most about DJing?
It's kind of like the same that I love about throwing events, like the vibe that the people, like I get from the people after my set, like their excitement is what inspires me. Mm-hmm. I just got goosebumps saying that, but like I love it. Like I'm just like, it makes me feel like music has helped me through a lot, and it's been my net at times. Like I'm, struggling and stuff, and music is always there, and like to give that feeling to someone else is like so special and like so precious that I just want to keep doing it. You know what I mean? It's especially where in a world where, we are losing a lot of friends and, to suicides or overdoses and stuff like that. And it's just like that net is so precious. Mm-hmm. So I want to keep doing it to make sure my friends are okay I guess.
I can feel that mission statement because it was always going out to the nightclubs and being a video guy since the age of 6. And I'd go out to the nightclubs, and then the next week you'd go out to the nightclubs and run into your friends, and you'd be talking about the last weekend or the show you were at before, and they were there. And if they weren't there, they missed it. And I always said to myself, how come nobody's recording these shows? How come nobody's videoed these shows? But there wasn't really any distribution. There was no SoundCloud back in 92, 94, 95, 90. I mean, YouTube wasn't really even a thing until 2004, 2005, really.
Yeah.
And the video iPod, there was no way to take video with you anywhere. So, and putting video online was so atrocious for many years. I mean, you get a little square like this big, watching E-Bomb's World or some GIF video image or whatever. And the video iPod wasn't out yet until late 2005. So and it wasn't wireless until the iPhone came out in 2007. And then you could watch YouTube or watch everything streaming live from your pocket on a 2.5G connection, which is murderous right now still. So, you know, but always that was the one thing about capturing that content and then distributing it, saying, hey, I didn't have to necessarily be at the show. I could watch it later. Now, of course, it's not the same element as being in person, just like virtual reality. People like, well, it's the virtual reality nightclub. It's not going to replace a real nightclub. It's not supposed to replace a real nightclub. Neither is a live stream of live streaming an event. But you know what? If I'm live streaming an event and that event is sold out and I got 500 people in the place, I could still have 10,000 people from around the world watching the event on maybe a pay-per-view. And that pay-per-view is maybe like $5 or $10 or $20. And you can do a revenue split with the artist if it goes big. And it's like there's money being left on the table by not exploring those kind of options. But then again, there's something to said about keeping an event underground. And I've seen what they're called the no signal parties, where they take your cell phone at the door.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing one of those actually.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Here's something I think would be really cool is if everyone got those. Do they still make the disposable film cameras?
Yeah, they do.
So if everyone that walks in the door, they get a disposable film camera at the end of the night, and that's what they're going to take pictures with and do stuff with, and then they turn that back in as they leave the door, and then your promotion company goes and takes all those photos and then puts all the photos online.
Yeah. I mean, or even if you had the regular cameras with like the SD cards in them, you could just.
I guess you could just check out. You could just check out those cameras with the SD cards and take here. If you really want to take pictures, you got to take pictures with these cameras, but you turn them back into us at the end of the night. So that way, everyone because you could probably get some okay, I like that idea better. You're right. That works better.
Then you just download the pictures and they'd be ready to go.
They'd be ready to go. You don't have to pay for film processing.
Yeah.
I guess I just dated myself there, didn't I?
Okay. I like film too.
I'm talking about film. Oh, funny stuff. I was at my state fair. Last week. Okay. And the booth said candy, coffee, soft drinks, and film. And I was like, who still buys? I live in Washington. It's not like I live in some BFE area in Montana or somewhere like digital technology hasn't made it yet, but it said film. And I go to my girlfriend, I said, I wonder if I go over there and ask them if I can buy a roll of film, if they would actually have some film back there.
Yeah. I think I still have film that needs to be developed, and I'm not sure if it goes bad. It's probably like 8 or 9 years old.
Gonna bring a viewer in right now. Michael says, "Hey, AthenaLuv."
That's Mikey. Mikey Huge. He runs Funky Communication. He's from Providence, and he is awesome, yo.
Awesome. Just want to bring that in. So, going back to your DJ career, do you remember the first record or first song track you ever purchased?
Oh man. I don't remember the first one that I bought, but I started buying vinyl. I so happened to stroll into Satellite Records in Boston, and Pat Fuentes and Jay Copo Melee were working, and I asked them for a job. because I was going to college in Boston and living in Dorchester, and they gave me a job at Avalon in Boston, and they also gave me a job at Satellite, and this was in 2006, I think. And the most important vinyl that I have is Chumbawamba Tub Thumpin'. And I bought a lot of like energy and trance, records, basically. So, and that's kind of like on what I'm playing now ish. So,
And what would be the current hottest track on your USB stick? If you're going to plug it in, this one goes with you. It's being played out right now.
it's actually the last track on the mix that I just put out. It's Leave Burbridge, Goodbye.
Okay.
And I don't think it's a new track. It's probably old, but I like it's so emotionally like just strong to me. It's like talks about supporting each other, and it's just an amazing track.
Awesome. Do
Yeah.
you still get nervous before a performance?
Yeah. I think I
How do
always
you
will.
how do you overcome that? What do you do do you have a process? Do you have a woosah moment that gets you through that?
Not really. I just freak out a little bit and internally, and then make myself go up there. Basically, I was in high school. I was shy, and obviously that's why I totally jumped out of the box when I went to Raise, because I could be myself, and so I just remember that I'm different, and that's okay, and I am there to make other people smile, and also make me smile by playing the music that I love.
And QOQ says, "You go, girl." By the way, do you become a different person when you get on stage than you are when you're off stage? Is there a persona with AthenaLuv? Is there Jen and there's AthenaLuv, or is it one and the same?
I'm pretty much the same all around. I'm loud and tell you how it is kind of deal. And I love music, and I don't know, it is what it is. You see it as it is, I guess. Basically, that's probably the New England in me, though.
Do you dance at your performances? Is that part of your act, or are you?
Sometimes I do a lot of pointing.
What's this?
That I do a lot of pointing. So like,
pointing.
Hand, yeah, like. But yeah, if I'm playing some driving techno, like I will definitely be dancing up there for sure. I think that the video that I sent you guys to play with a brand new mix that I made special for this show has a lot of me dancing, I guess. So
definitely got that exclusive. I'm excited to go through that exclusive mix. I just got it downloaded today. I usually listen to them before the interviews, but I haven't even got a chance to listen to it. Super excited for that, and thank you so much for that. Super excited for that. Was the biggest crowd you ever played for also the best crowd you've played for?
No. But the biggest crowd was fun. It was awesome, But I feel like with a small room, you have so like it's your close friends, and just the people that always support you. Like that is such a vibe. Like they're like right there with you. You know what I mean? It's amazing. I mean, I haven't played for a huge amount of people yet. I'm sure that will be crazy and I'll love it. But it is like to be able to like see that person and see how excited they are to hear that mix, or like that they're just like way into everything. It's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
So.
And if you were to play a party where only 20 people showed up for, would you like finish out rocking your set and make it a hell of a party?
Yeah.
Or have you ever had that happen before, where you've got to an event before and there's no one there, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm giving it still my 100%.
Well, I threw weeklies, so
Okay.
weeklies are tough, and people don't go every week. It's not like it used to be back in the day. I so I don't. It doesn't matter to me if there's one or none. Well, I mean, none. I guess it does matter a little bit, but it's always the same. I've been at events where DJs have just like not even mixed if somebody's there, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, there's still other people. They're still here, and they're here to hear music. You should be 100% all the time, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I want to give another shout out from Lufa saying, Mary and I are watching. Love you, AthenaLuv. And QOQ says, I love that you're doing what you love and killing it. Do you think you'd ever stop DJing in favor of another art form?
Like DJ or something else?
Yeah, I mean, if there's another art form that you go, let's say it's painting or basket weaving or whatever the other art forms are, like, I've been thinking about maybe going down a painting route, or would DJing still always be a part of your core persona, hobby, passion, something back there?
I think it took me so long to like actually do it. Like I'm 39, you know what I mean? Like I am at this point never going to stop DJing. I also paint and I draw, and I've been painting and drawing since I was 3, or as old as I was to hold a pencil, you know what I mean? My grandmother started teaching me, and art is like my life, you know what I mean? It's just it's everything I breathe. It I eat it for breakfast, like techno or something, you know what I mean? So it's just like who I am.
I don't have that long of a career with art. I think I stopped with finger painting in kindergarten. That's about where I remember 6th grade, I had to take art class, and I liked using the light board because I would draw spaceships, and I draw half the spaceship on one side, and then you could fold it in half, and then you trace the other half of the spaceship on the other side, and you open it up.
Thought of that.
It was like cool. That's about the stick figures are about the best I can go. People love my storyboards because I'll draw little stick figures. Like, this is my storyboard, stick figure. Here, this is the one shot, this is the half shot, this is the media shot. They're talking here. Turn the camera like this, and it's stick figures, and they're like, "This isn't a storyboard, dude." And I'm like, "Yes, it is. It's my storyboard. It makes sense to me."
You should save them all and make them into a book.
Oh God! Not my storyboards. That was 20 years ago when I was doing film. I was making films in college. But one of the things I am looking forward to putting into a book, which are in kind of a storyboard, are if you can see it, my to-do. Hang on. This is green screen from hell. Uh-oh. Anyways, I'm holding up my to-do list. Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
So my to-do list. And I literally save every to-do list. I've been saving them up for years.
That's
because and it's going to be like a coffee table book that kind of is kind of a storyline of, a little bit, not a big book, but something you pick up and you go, this is what it took to get me where I'm at. And these are my to-do lists over all the years. It has like my expense reports of what I'm doing. And the thing is, with my to-do list, I could put a keyword on there that says sponsorship Harrison. Nobody knows. To me, that's a keyword of my to-do list, but sponsorship Harrison means go get $2.5 million.
Yeah.
Or I could say laundry or vacuum or shave, so it could be dishes right below call Harrison, and nobody knows what that means, but there's a lot of to-dos in there, and it's not like repetitive tasks. These are all the things you have to do when you're running your own business. As I was telling my girlfriend the other night, it's when you run your own company, your mind is always active with doing something. Like, this from throwing events, and you're like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if I had this? And then you got a logistic. There you go. So you know what she got me? My girlfriend got me you got color coded. So I told her one of the things that I wanted, if I have a whiteboard above my computer and I haven't used it for a long time, but I'm going to make a huge whiteboard on my wall, and I'm going to list my 7 different projects in different colors, and then have to-do lists and tasks under each one of those. But I can visualize everything because I know what's in my head. Sorry, I'm up on a little tangent here. I know what's on my to-do list. I know what's in my head. But if somebody really came and said, "Oh wow, I get it. You're trying to plan international trips. You're trying to do international branding. You got these live streams. You got the website. You got cruise. You got events. You got this, that," and put it all in perspective. Somebody sit back and go,
they're gonna get it.
Your whole corporation. Okay, I get it now. There's a lot of stuff that you're doing. It's like, yes, that's why I only sleep 5 hours a night.
Yeah, it's crazy. And honestly, like, I feel like your to-do lists are way more organized than mine because I keep them in journals, and it's obviously always with me. I have like 1 or 2 of them with me all the time, but I just scribble. I don't know if you can see.
Yep.
I don't know what this says, but I just scribble stuff, and it's not neat, but I know what it means. You know what I mean? And that'd be so cool to turn it into a book, because one day in 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, and I'm looking back and I produce tracks and I'm doing all this stuff. I'm starting DJ lessons and just a lot of different things, and it's going to be like kind of cool to look back and be like, what got me there.
It was 2005. I was working for Apple. That you have your notebook. That's where it triggered. This is where it triggers it for me. Is that I was getting on the bus to go to my job at Apple, and I said I wanted a Palm Pilot for years. I wanted a Palm Pilot so bad. I thought if I had a Palm Pilot, I'd be so organized because it was this digital book. It wasn't a open and the ones that we used to use, the day planner, day runners. And I wanted the Palm Pilot. Well, I just said, I'm sitting there and I had this bus schedule that I grabbed, and I'm sitting there, I'm looking and I go, you know what? I could write. This is my day planner. This is my new day planner. If I find something to write with, I'm going to make this my day planner. For whatever reason, serendipitously, there was a little golf pencil sitting on the sidewalk. I grabbed that golf pencil and I started writing in that to-do list, and that sat in my pocket, went with me everywhere I went. And if I had an idea, once a page filled up, I'd flip the page and start writing ideas in the new. Yeah. It's a bus guide, and that's just that started it all. You
have to do that to keep it creative and keep it moving. You know what I mean?
But it helps to manifest. It helps to take. I think of it now like Harry Potter and Dumbledore, where he has his pensive, and he can pull the thoughts out of his head and put them in the pensive, and then come back and think about them later on. That's what my to-do lists are for me. Otherwise, I'd be going all over the place.
Now, every time I write down one, I'm going to think of that.
Yeah, it was. Just pull it out and put it over there, and that way, come back to it. But enough about me and to-do lists and my books and stuff and all that fun stuff. Do you like to go out and listen to other sets of other DJs? Does that give you inspiration for what you do, or you kind of do your own internal thing and then bring it to the table?
I kind of do my own thing, honestly. I go out and I do listen to other DJs, and they're amazing. But I really want to keep my own style, and my style is kind of fluid. You know what I mean? I don't want to just, be one genre, or I just kind of want to keep it open. Because like before I came to Hawaii, I played drum and bass and breaks. You know what I mean? And when I came here, it was techno, and now it's progressive. And I just want to keep moving and keep kind of it open and be able to play whatever I want. I feel like if I'm playing music and I love it, then the people that are dancing are going to love it, because it's my job as a DJ to bring you a vibe and to fill a dance floor and to introduce you to music that you've never heard before. And that's what I love about DJing.
13 years ago when we started the show, a lot of DJs were not keen or had ever performed on video on a live stream. They were used to playing in a nightclub. They could read the crowd. The crowd was giving them feedback. They could tell they were doing a good job. So when we started the live stream, you'd have a lot of DJs on the show, and they'd just be standing like, because there was no audience to feed off of. Right. And I would tell them, over time, they'd start to see the chat room getting active and people talking, and that would kind of pump them up a little bit. But I would dance next to all the DJs playing the show for 4 hours straight, and people would tune in to watch the show, to watch Darren's dance moves,
Dancing.
and watch me dancing. Going, is this guy on drugs? How can this guy do this for 4 hours? But eventually, I would tell the DJs, I said, look, if you look like you're having fun on camera, that's going to come through on the live stream. Then those people are going to go, wow, that's awesome. They're going to want to chat. They're going to say, this is awesome. They're going to feel your energy. And once they started doing that, they started seeing the chat room, the numbers go up. People were watching. They were engaged. And that's a huge part of it, to always be kind of on point. If you're having fun, the audience is going to have fun. It's contagious. Nobody goes, oh, they're having too much fun. This sucks.
Goodness.
Right?
I totally learned that during the pandemic, though, and all the live streaming and stuff. I was live streaming before the pandemic started too, and it's in order to, like, if you're just standing there like a pole, nobody wants to watch that. Like, who's gonna watch a pole? You want to be into it, and like, it worked even better when I got a microphone. And I started saying stuff. And I had a microphone phobia before the pandemic. I didn't even get on the microphone at my event. I had an MC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But pandemic, I got on the microphone, and now I love it.
It's definitely the progression of watching. Like, I watched when everyone jumped online, and I watched the whole progression of, everyone's looking for a webcam. And they had one webcam, and then they wanted 2 webcams.
Yeah.
And then the progression of watching everyone go, oh, now I want a green screen. And watching everyone get the green, I'm like,
then you gotta buy a new computer.
I was green screening in 2010. Okay, come on. Like, and then the one shot that I say now is a classic. The angle of the actual DJ gear. Yeah. Like, you got your hand. What are your hands really doing that's so important? So, oh my God, I can't believe they switched the fader right there. Yeah. Like, nobody cares about that shot. But you want to see me twisting knobs? Okay, you adjusted that low pass. You adjusted that low. Just.
It's so funny because I totally always put a camera angle with the knobs and stuff.
Yeah, that's a classic. That is a classic shot. Like, I don't want to say I invented that shot, but I had that shot in every show. That was part of the process. But when you have all of a sudden the entire world is jumping online, and that shot is in everyone's show, it waters it down. It's like, do you really need that shot anymore? If you're a DJ, people know you're a DJ. Do they really have to see you doing this? Like, if I'm in a DJ booth, I'm going to walk up and watch you at the DJ booth going, oh, nice crossfade.
I do that.
I mean, I guess that would be a nice mix, but I wouldn't be like, oh wow, you brought that high end really nice, or that mid was I wouldn't watch it. I'd be dancing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't use the crossfader now, though.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I guess
I use a crossfader.
I guess you're right. You wouldn't use a crossfader unless you're scratching like hip hop guys would.
I like it. I like using a crossfader because I long mix, and like half the track, and I'm going back and forth and stuff, and I think it just sounds better, but everybody has a preference, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I see, this is where I live. I can fade a track in and I can fade a track out. And I can put it on sync, and I know they're both, but I mean, you got to cue it up, obviously. But that's about as far as I go. I'm not there's a joke. I'm not a DJ. I just play one on live streams.
Hey, you can still have that show one day.
Going back in time a little bit, because you started in 2000s, going out. I remember going to clubs, and the DJ was not a prominent fixture in the club. They were kind of off to the side. So do you think people should still look at DJs like they're rock stars, like they're the main performers? Or would it be more fun if DJs were just slightly a little bit more anonymous and part of the bigger event? Like it was back in the day.
I didn't have that experience, actually. The DJs were always like front and center. I worked at Avalon in Boston. It's stage and a production, and every promoter that I worked for on the East Coast, like, it was like the DJs, like rock stars. And I think that should still be how DJs are viewed, honestly. Like, we create a vibe. Like, we are rock stars, I guess. I don't know.
It was when the first clubs that I would go to. I mean, the DJ would be up here, up here. I would go to events, and the DJ would be way up here on some balcony. Even though there was a stage, they were not made as the focal point
It's so
so much
strange.
as the event, or they were off in the corner. If they were at a nightclub, there wasn't a stage built for the DJ to perform on with lights. It wasn't until about the mid '90s we started
Oh
seeing
yeah.
that roll out and
Right.
happen. But you know, it's interesting. Like we did a down tempo ambient night. Does the
Yeah.
DJ need to be up front and center stage lit up, or are we trying to provide a vibe for the actual evening? And the restaurant we were at an absinthe bar doing a down tempo ambient
Oh,
night.
nice.
Yeah, that's kind of really
Yeah.
fun.
I think if you're in down tempo, like in loungy, it's kind of different because it's like, background, you still want to talk and stuff like that. I think for everything, there's a different answer, I guess. But if it's like, techno DJs and a big production, like, yeah, hell yeah, they're rock stars.
Yeah, I think we've seen that now at the major festivals. I went to EDC for my first time last year,
Nice.
which was amazing. And I
I
mean,
can imagine.
not particularly my kind of event that I'd like to go
Yeah.
to, because it's just you're looking at the DJs and they're like this big, and they're rocking out on
Oh, yeah.
stage. You're like, all right, cool, I can
That's
see
why you got to
you.
get the VIP.
We had VIP, and then we found out it was $1,000 to get the next level of VIP, just to stand on that section of VIP, and that was 1,500, then 5,000, and then 25,000. I'm like, no, I'll apply for media badges next year, and I'll go wherever
Yeah.
I want.
No, I remember the days when they used to give them for free as a comp because you were, helping with the, advertisement and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, yeah, it's so like we got full press clearance. We're going to Amsterdam ADE
Ooh,
next month, and I'm going to Gold Rush here in next weekend,
that's so
next weekend,
cool.
which is a big festival. And
Yeah.
it's you feel a little spoiled when you get that kind of access, and you're kind of standing like, I personally don't want to go to an event for my business because I love to do the reporting. I love doing the interviews, talking
Yeah.
with people. That if I go to an event and I'm like, okay, why didn't I apply for media clearance to this? Or why didn't I apply to get an interview with the DJs that I'm watching tonight?
Yeah.
Just knock that out of the way. Like, it's always carry a camera with you, always be ready to, well, I guess I always do carry a camera with me because I got my iPhone, but,
Yeah.
always be ready to do that on-site red carpet. Let's do a take and get something with the cameras. It's awesome. And so you get a little spoiled when you get to be on this side of the fence, but it's fun stuff. I like what I do, and I like meeting and talking with people like you.
Yeah.
Speaking of big time events and the scene literally getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere anytime soon, do you feel there's too much politics going on in electronic music land?
Absolutely. There is so many that there's gatekeeping and like craziness. Like, this is about Fleur. That's peace, love, unity, respect, and responsibility. Fleur. Not about the extra, yeah. Not about the extra crap, yo. It's like the music. It's about the music. Like, people forget. Like, it's not about who's like richer or who's cooler. It's about the fact that this music created a community, and this is the community, and we need to care for it and nurture it. And like, I really feel you've got me on a soapbox now because like I'm very passionate. Like, I'm not doing my weekly anymore, but I was doing the weekly I was doing was called the Underground Thursdays, and it was at Dragon Upstairs in Chinatown, and it was an amazing venue. And I loved doing the weekly. I just had to go on to other things, but the reason I did it was to give the younger kids a platform and to kind of like be there to help develop them a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's so important as someone who is almost in my 40s to kind of show that old vibe of like, hey, I'm here, you're here, we can all be friends, and let's set a good example for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I feel like it's very cliquey, and That's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be everybody together. You know, we all came to this culture for a reason. And, you know, everybody's reason was different, but we're all here together, like loving this music.
Absolutely. It couldn't have been said better that, you know, it did get clicky. It got political. I saw somebody from Boston. I don't know if you know Jack Foley or not. Is it Jack Foley? I can't. I think his first name is Jack. Anyways, he posted something. I've been having this discussion with a lot of people locally about, you know, the 45-year-old, 50-year-old gatekeeper that will not relinquish their DJ position because basically, in my opinion, that's all they got. You know, I'm not talking about Carl Cox. I'm not talking about David Guetta. I'm not talking about these big names. I'm talking about, you know, local DJs that it's like, where's the legacy? Who are you helping bring up? And what are you leaving behind? If you're leaving a legacy of animosity and I've seen this, it duplicates itself over and over again. Every generation. I've been doing this for 30 years and watching so many generations going, well, now it's my turn to be on top.
No.
And it's like, okay, but are you working with anyone else to help bring them up as well? No, it's me. It's me. The spotlight's on me. Why am I going to help anyone else? So they can take my light and take my shine away. It's like,
that makes me sick.
Don't you think that's going to be reciprocative?
No,
you know, it's going to reciprocate.
They're in it for the wrong reason.
Like,
that is the wrong reason. Like with me, like I just feel like it should be me and my friends. Like if I'm going up, I'm bringing my people with me because like where the hell am I going to be if I'm up there all by myself? Yeah. Like that's not the point. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I want everybody, like my crew and my you know, my DJs, my promoters, and you know, people who are involved with me, like everybody to eat. You know what I mean? And that's so important. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like why are we doing it if it's just for one person? Like that's not the point.
It brings me right back to the point of why I'm not a DJ. I could have gone and learned how to, with my live streaming skills 13 years ago, video production skills, I could have gone and learned how to DJ and made it the Darren Bruce DJ show.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't about me. I wanted to show all the world, my friends that I hung out with in the nightclubs, and how awesome everyone was, and also the awesome DJs that would come in from out of town that were playing, the big names that would come in and share that. So it's always been on our show and always will be what I call an open table policy. If you want to have fun and you want to network and you want to hang out with like-minded people, come to the DJ sessions. We'll have you on the show, we'll put you on board, and 9 times out of 10, if you do have the skills, if you don't have the skills, we'll say, let's practice and get you up there to get you the skills.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably offer you a residency on the show and put you on the lineup on our roster. And now you're part of a group of people that says, hey, this is being shot out to the entire world, and this is the backbone of our support of going out there, and this is who we're coupled with, and give that uplifting stepping stone to somebody. Again, it's not a home where you're locked in and you're a DJ. I've had DJs come to me over the past that I can't play on your show, or I've heard them say I can't play at another cruise show because they locked me off. I can only play for my cruise show and that's it. And I was like, wait a sec.
That is so what? I hate that.
Like
I hate it.
Like how does that promote camaraderie? Or how does that? It doesn't. And that's what the DJ sessions was all supposed to be about too, was these promoters. I looked at it as like gang warfare. You had 3 crews throwing shows on Friday nights, and they all hated each other because they're all against each other. But I'd invite the DJs to all come over to my house on Wednesday and break bread and drink beers and hang out. So they were hanging out in a place where they normally wouldn't be able to hang out because they were busy on Friday night or Saturday night doing their shows. And that was kind of the whole bringing everyone together in that plur kind of respect, you know, you know, in peace, love, unity, respect. And so, you know, unfortunately over time I just saw it, and I saw a lot of toxicity in the environment, and I finally started realizing, I'm like, you know, I tried working with y'all and being a negotiator and working this out, but y'all didn't want to play along. So I'm just going to swoop my own crew and leave it open door or leave it open table policy. If somebody wants to come, you know where our door's at now. You know, you can come knock on us and say, I want to come play your show. I'll say, cool. But me chasing out after other people, I go laser beam approach and say, I think I'm like, well, you got to chase after people that are going to reciprocate that energy
Right.
back as well.
Yeah.
Because I know how you probably know a lot about that.
Yeah. And I think honestly, like in regards to, you know, kind of cutting people out, like I feel like people are deserving of other chances if they are trying to change. You know what I mean? I think that a human is definitely capable of learning their lesson and being a better person. And I think to me, like I've struggled in my life with different things, and like if I was that person, I wouldn't be sitting here. You know what I mean? So for me to like cut someone out because they did A or B or C to whoever, A, not my business. B, you know, if they're trying to change, then who would I be to hold on to some kind of hate? Like if I'm preaching plur and unity, like who would I be? You know?
Yeah. I literally got cancel culture, attempted cancel cultured because I stood up against toxicity, cyberbullying, troll mentality in our scene. And I was like, I'm not going to promote that. I'm not going to work. I don't want to work. And I was told I'm going to lose a lot of friends and all this stuff. And the funny thing is, my business has exponentially grown. I get reciprocative, I get positive energy back in now where I put in positive energy. I mean, and it's sad that that happens, that gatekeeping and that those politics do happen. You know, and it was like, okay, cool. But I'm better off now that I work with people from all over the world, people like you. I'm talking with you now, you know, and trying to get out and go more places around the world and get back on the red carpet and brand ourselves internationally and keep that mission statement of this is a brand that's open for everyone. You know, that anyone can come and say, hey, I'd like to get on your show, you know, and
well, and that's what the rave community is about. So,
exactly.
You know, that you should definitely do that. Like that's the embodiment of our culture. Like,
and speaking of rave community, gonna give a couple more shout outs here from your end. We got John, Katie, and jumping in as well. John said he was late. That was just a little bit ago. And Katie says hi. And QOQ says unity through music. Yes.
I love them all. I'm so glad my people got to log in. John runs the Ravers from the 2000s group on Facebook from New England, and I'm a mod in. And Katie is my best friend from Massachusetts. I haven't seen her in forever. So hi, Katie.
Awesome.
Hi, guys.
That's again why I love this platform Restream, because you being able to share this and notifying all your friends and viewers and fans. It's like, whoa, cool that they're jumping in. I can see the chat room there. But a few more questions before we let you go. You know, if you could take one non-famous person and put them in the spotlight who means a lot to you, other than your direct family or friends, I mean, direct like blood family or friends, who would that be and why?
Put them in the spotlight, like musically?
Put them in take them and say, you belong here. Like my sound effects.
Yes, I love that. And I like how your arms disappeared too. It was very magical. So I have a friend who's, you know, he lives in Providence. He's from Florida, and his name's Michael. I call him Michael. Everyone else calls him Mike. And he is my best friend, one of my best friends, and he's a great promoter. And he is a very smart person, and I would, you know, put him somewhere special. I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah, I would totally. And he does like he wants to like produce and stuff like that. And he is just an amazing person, and I would definitely. I wish he didn't live so far away. I'm trying to talk him into moving to Hawaii. So he's coming here. Yeah, he's coming here at the end of October because I booked his roommate, Beard Thug, and I'm planning on kidnapping him. Not really.
Hey, that's premeditated. Now I might be called into court as a partial accomplice.
You won't mind.
And for the record, we're quoting her from the DJ Sessions episode. Darren, did you do that episode?
I'm not really kidnapping him. I don't do that. I'm too nice.
Awesome. It looks like John said that he is just restarted Just So with a new group.
Oh. Well, you have to tell me about that, John. I wonder what happened.
Awesome. Hopefully. Well, maybe we'll get John on the show and he can tell us all about it.
Yeah, he's fun.
Awesome. Well, okay, Athena, love, is there anything else you want to let our DJ Sessions fans know about before we let you go?
Yeah, just check out my pages. Follow Hudson Collective. I do a lot of events in Honolulu. At the end of October, I'm also starting to do events on Maui. And, for me, when I first came to Honolulu, it was kind of hard to, figure out who to talk to and, who I could get a gig from. But part of the reason why I do shows still is that I want to give people that come in here a platform too. So I think that's really important for me. And it's so cool, to go on vacation and be like, oh, I played at, this chick show in Honolulu, and she runs Hudson Collective, and, we had a great time. And they go back and they go to their friends and everybody talks about it. You know what I mean? I think it's so cool to send the vibe, send the vibe. So, right now I'm just doing a bi-monthly, and it's at what is now being called the Walk-In, and it is called Black Market Fridays. Okay. And it's kind of a vibe. It's a really cool spot in Chinatown, and I'll be pulling a headliner in once a month, and the other one will be locals. The other show will be locals. So,
we have a roster of 17 DJs, and they're usually looking for gigs to play somewhere. Yeah. And we just expanded to Phoenix, Arizona as well. So if we should talk offline.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to start putting up some circuit tours, shows in Seattle, shows in Phoenix, and shows in Honolulu. We'll talk more about that offline.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that for sure.
Awesome.
So that's the one thing, and then the other thing is starting in December. Well, actually, as of 2 weeks ago, I picked up a management. My friend Deshaun, he was the first person to comment, and he runs Mango Tree Music Group, and they're out of Canada. I've known him for a bunch of years. I worked with him before, and he, is amazing. So he is helping me manage myself, I guess. And starting in December, I'm going to be taking some touring gigs. So,
all right, it's. I'll tell you, I tried to be the one-stop shop, do it all myself. Yeah. I hired an assistant in 2020 to help me book interviews for podcast interviews, to get me on interviews. Yeah. Then I had him started doing artist outreach management. And then in 2021, I brought on another assistant who works from overseas as well. And then I brought on another person to help me with my international branding, PR marketing from the UK. So I have 3 people that I was trying to manage all myself. They're not even my managers. They're just working these positions for me. But we are also looking for management of our brand and management of our artists as well to get bookings and tours. We're in talks right now to do all that. And I think after coming back from ADE, we're going to have a lot of connections. We're making a lot of connections already for that stuff. But awesome stuff. Where can people find out all this information about what you do, what's going on? Where's the best place to send them?
So my Instagram is pretty poppin'. I also have Linktree, and that links to that way.
I know that happens to me all the time. I'm like, yeah. Wait. Here, you really want to get here? You really want to do it? Here, go like this. Watch this. Woo! Oh, now you can go.
Nope, I can't do it.
There you go.
The Instagram and Linktree's got all my links, and you can actually find my Linktree right on my Instagram. So
awesome. Well, that's DJ AthenaLuv at mention DJ AthenaLuv at Instagram. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. It was a pleasure having you. We are definitely going to stay in touch. We're going to talk offline, of course, but we're going to stay in touch just like we make the promise. We want to stay in touch with every artist that comes on the show. Try to do something every 6 months. But if something comes up, you want to talk to us, you know how to do it. Shoot us an email. And if you're out there in DJ Sessions land and watching this show, definitely fire us an email. We'd be happy to set up a time and talk with you. So awesome sauce. And thank you to all the viewers that tuned in today, all of Athena's Love's fans. Please follow us. And on that note, don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. Find us on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Meta, Facebook, wherever it's called. You can also find us on streaming live on Roku, Amazon Fire, Google Play, soon to be Apple TV. And check out our virtual reality nightclubs in Altspace and download our mobile app so you can take us on the go on your phone. Pretty cool stuff. But all of that information with 600 news stories, exclusive mixes. Check out AthenaLuv's exclusive mix coming to you on thedjsessions.com as well. News stories, shows, and more at thedjsessions.com. I'm Darren, coming to you from the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington. That's AthenaLuv coming in from Honolulu, Hawaii for the virtual sessions. And remember, on the DJ Sessions, the music never stops.
Yeah.